Hi, my name is Andrew, and I've been invited here to speak about the greatest invention. What is the greatest invention? There's so many inventions, you may say, but that is what I'm here for, and today I'll be talking about the vaccine. Before we do that, let's change something. Much better. Edward Jenner was born on May 17, 1749. Edward Jenner was also born on a village in Berkeley, Gloucestershire, England. The beginning of Dr. Jenner's life was pretty rough. At the age of 5, he was orphaned because of his father's death. But 8 years later, at the age of 13, he became an apprentice to Dr. Daniel Ludlow. Also around this age, Edward Jenner grew a very large love for nature. In 1770, Edward Jenner became a pupil to London surgeon and anatomist John Hunter. One of his largest accomplishments was the success of his vaccine. From 1802 to 1805, he earned over 30,000 euros. On January 25, 1823, he was found paralyzed on the right side of his body and was never able to fully recover. Soon, on January 26, 1823, he would die. Edward Jenner possessed many character traits. One of his largest character traits was his curiosity. His curiosity contributed to the development of his invention, because when he first heard somebody who contracted cowpox, which was a moderately harmless disease, could not contract smallpox. This got the gears in Edward's brain going. So he decided to inoculate an 8-year-old boy named James Phipps. He decided to infect him with fresh cowpox tissue, and James Phipps was slightly sick for 9 days. On the 10th day, he fully recovered and was infected with fresh smallpox tissue, but never suffered from any symptoms of the smallpox. This idea has worked. Because of Edward's curiosity, a new way to prevent diseases was made. Another character trait that Edward Jenner possessed was his perseverance. With the success of the idea of the vaccination, he was extremely ridiculed and was extremely discouraged. Think about it. If someone had come up to you and said, "Hey, we're going to infect you with a disease that kills millions of people, but since we infected you, you aren't going to die." Just to the normal brain, using common sense, that just doesn't make sense. But soon Edward Jenner was recognized for his great work, and he was able to improve upon it, even though he was extremely discouraged. But because of his perseverance, he was able to popularize it, and death rate for smallpox was plunging. A final character trait that Edward Jenner possessed was his dedication. He was dedicated to the work of his vaccine no matter what. He was extremely dedicated, even though it affected many things like his personal life. Because of his dedication, the widespread of vaccines across Europe was growing larger and larger, and the vaccine was improving and was going to become more safe. Now you know a little bit about the inventor of the vaccine. How does the vaccine actually work? Well, here are a couple facts that you might want to know. Fact number 1. Vaccines are typically in syringes, as you see right here. Fact number 2. Vaccines don't actually give the full disease. It only gives a dead or weakened form of the disease. Fact number 3. When the vaccine is administered, it does not cause any side effects or any symptoms of the disease. When the vaccine is actually given to your body, the B cells recognize it as a threat even though it actually isn't. It's like a false alarm, but a good false alarm. Next, your B cells multiply and either become B memory cells or plasma cells. The B memory cells do what the name says. It remembers how to fight the disease. While the plasma cells produce antibodies that attack the disease and disable it. The 5th fact is when you're actually infected by the full-on disease, your B memory cells will multiply quickly and recognize it. The B memory cells would quickly become plasma cells and then produce antibodies, which then would disable the disease. Now you know a little bit about the vaccine. Now I will be presenting to you my argument for why this is the greatest invention. The vaccine is the greatest invention because it prevented many deaths and diseases. For example, the smallpox outbreak was a tragic event that happened in the 17th century. But with the creation of the vaccine, many deaths and diseases were easily preventable. Diseases like tetanus that are caused by bacterial infections going through cuts or wounds, so jobs like construction, it could be easily avoidable. This invention also helps society because without the constant fear of death, things like society and technology could advance. Another reason this is the most important invention in history is because Children and adults can go to school and go to work without the constant fear of death. Jobs are also much more easier. Something like farming, for example. In farming, you can contract many diseases from animals. But now with vaccines, you cannot contract those diseases. For example, in the instance of children, when children go to school, if someone has the measles, let's say, the school would be completely shut down for whatever amount of time. Because vaccines exist, children can't catch a disease like measles. This invention also changed society because it changed how society worked. It changed how society is now no longer defending itself from nature like animals or diseases, but now trying to advance and grow better. Now, what is the future of the vaccine? Vaccines in our world still have a place. Even though vaccines in places like Africa and Asia have plateaued, vaccines have been able to prevent 2 million deaths per year. Not only that, research is being done to create more and better vaccines. Things like cancer vaccines are being tested. Also, the vaccine relies on such a basic and simple concept that it's still going to have a place years from now. With educating more and more people around the world about vaccines, until we find a more efficient way, vaccines will be here to stay. So with that, I hope you agree with me on my invention.